everyone, Melissa again. It has been a few weeks since my last video. I do apologize for that. Busy season has started at work, and I work in the trophies and awards business. It's graduation season, and things have been ridiculously busy. It's gotten to the point where we have all hands on deck. We're borrowing people from the departments next door to our shop, and we're getting things done, but it's been a little bit hectic, and I've been working a little bit of late hours at work and stuff like that. Haven't been taking lunch, so as soon as I get home, I pretty much just crash. And I haven't really had the energy lately to record videos or do all of these sewing tutorials because I have a buttload of material now, and I have like really simple patterns that I want to try out. I have one or two different sewing projects I have in mind. So Frank John Vary, I am so sorry that I'm taking so long with these tutorials, but I promise you they are coming. Today's video, since it's a holiday and I've kind of been resting up from all the long hours at work, I figured I'd just come up here and talk a little bit about my locks and the differences between, I guess, my traditional locks and my micro locks. So let's see, the couple of things. I noticed that since it's summertime, my hair's feeling a little bit dry. It's about that time for me to wash and condition it this week. My next retwist is next week because I've kind of changed things up. Normally, at the beginning, I retwisted my hair every time I washed it, but then I realized I was getting like these little white bulbs at the scalp area and around the back, and I really didn't like those in there, and that's normally a sign that you're retwisting your hair too tightly, and that's really bad for your scalp and the follicles that hold the hairs in place and everything. So I've worked out a way to kind of get used to not retwisting as often, because that's one of the major things I've had to kind of get accustomed to when it came to starting these micro locks. Because with my traditional locks, what I would do is I would normally wash every week as I would have when I was a loose natural, but then I would lightly retwist everything to kind of keep things looking neat, because I do work in a professional business environment and occasionally I do see customers. So when it comes to looking presentable and stuff like that, I can't have too many funky things going on with my hair, and you don't really like to look frizzy. Because as someone with locks, I kind of want to put forward this, I don't want to feed the misconception that locks are unkempt or dirty or disgusting, because they're not. I know there are a lot of people who are like freeform lockers and stuff like that who don't retwist as often, and they have really gorgeous, beautiful locks and they rock it. I am not one of those people. I prefer a little bit more of a manicured look. That's just me, but I do enjoy seeing a few freeform lockers out there. In fact, I'll probably leave a link or two to some of my favorites down in the description box below for you guys to check out. But yeah, I think that's the primary thing that I've been getting used to when it came to transitioning between traditional locks and micro locks or interlocking my hair. Because pretty much the products I use are pretty much the same. I don't use the Talia Waji Lock It Up anymore, obviously, because there's not really any need to. If I wanted my hair to look a little bit slicker in the front, what I tend to do is a trick that a lot of loose naturals know, is where you spritz the front of your hair with water and you tie it down with a hair scarf for like 10-15 minutes before you leave the house, and then you style the rest of your, well, yeah, you style your hair, you spritz it with water, and you tie it down with a cloth over the front, and you either wear that for like 10-15 minutes until it like dries a little bit, or you can wear it in the car, and then when you take the scarf off, everything is nice and smooth and everything, which is a temporary fix kind of thing, but I prefer that to using like gels and putties and stuff in my hair. So I've been doing things like that, or I find that if my roots are looking a little bit raggedy, because you can kind of see where there's a lot of slippage in the front, or like a lot of frizziness around the edges and stuff like that, where you could see it. So a lot of the time I would use like a really cute bandana, or in some cases I would just curl my hair, so the frizziness I get at the root from my hair growing out gives me a little bit more volume and oomph that I really like. So I've been doing that as well. Um, Another thing that I've kind of noticed between like my traditional locks and my micro locks is the fact that I'm able to do a lot more like malleable styling. Like when I had traditional locks, my hair was pretty much the same length as it is now, but I could not put my hair into a bun. I could put my hair into a ponytail, but it wasn't flexible enough. My traditional locks weren't flexible enough to be able to just roll it up into a bun or something like that. Or, yeah, like how my hair is now. Like normally this would only be able to just barely contain all of my locks, but I noticed that the same scrunchie, I can just comb all of this back up, and I can do half up, half down, and put this into a little bun, which I definitely could not do with traditional locks. Or I can just take the whole thing, because today is hot and I'm not interested in having any hair on my neck, and just do a quick little messy bun like so, which has kind of been my go-to style when I'm at home these days rather than having my hair loose. I noticed that another thing that's really different between when I have my traditional locks to my micro locks is that I don't style my hair nearly as often, because with the traditional locks it looked very plain when it was just left loose. Now granted, I did really like the look, and I did get a lot of volume and fluff some days whenever it was like a couple of days between my retwists. I noticed that it felt a little bit plain, so I was more inclined to try and style it for special occasions or something like that. Aside from just curling it, I would try to do like a lot of flat twists and a lot of updos and a lot of curly styles and things like that. But with the micro locks, I feel like it has so much movement and so much bounce and body that I don't really feel as inclined to do quite as much styling, unless it's something like a quick pinned updo or maybe some loose curls or something like that, a couple of braided styles, but I tend not to fool with it as much. Another thing I've noticed that's a little bit different is the fact that I play in my hair a whole lot more now than when I had my traditional locks. I'm not sure why that is. I think it's just because I like the feel of my hair, my hands going through my hair now, and because or maybe it started off as just making sure that my micro locks weren't tangling together at the roots, and then it just kind of turned into a hand in head syndrome, and it kind of escalated from there to where I'm like playing in my hair on a regular basis. So there is that. Let's see, what else is different? What else is different? People tend to get confused a lot more often of what's going on with my hair. A couple of people thought I combed out my locks for good. I have a sister who actually got upset with me because she thought I had combed out my locks, and I just kept putting in micro braids over and over again. I was like, no, 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 no. Locks, I just wanted something to play with. So everything's fine. Nothing's going on. Everything's still locked up tight. So yeah. I think that's about it. But anyway, since it's been a while, let me give you guys a look at my hair and what it's looking like. I've noticed that the roots aren't really budding. I kind of like the fact that they're kind of loose and fluffy. And since I've put my hair like this, I've noticed that you can kind of see the brown tones in my hair a lot. I used to have my hair dyed red at one point, but that seems to have washed out almost completely, and the natural brown color of the roots seems to have come out a lot more, and they're still really soft. Just not quite as soft right now since my hair's a little bit crunchy and dry since it's been a while since I washed it. I'm probably going to wash and condition it today or tomorrow, since tomorrow's a holiday as well. And yeah, that is pretty much everything that's been going on hair-wise. Another thing that's kind of been going on with me is I've been considering getting more into pursuing things that interest me. It's really too hot in here for all of this hair, people. So what I've been thinking and what I've been working on recently is I've been taking on a lot of sewing commissions locally. So far I've done, I think, three 3 of them. One was for christening. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures of that. I need to ask the young lady who I made the dress for to send me a couple of pictures so I can show you guys here and probably insert that in like a later video or something. I've done a pair of shorts and a vest for my brother-in-law for some kind of Junkanoo carnival fete thing that he was supposed to be participating in. I'm not used to taking photos of my work as I'm going, and I really need to get better at that. When I had a blog earlier, and I'm still debating whether or not I want to restart the blog or just keep things here on YouTube and maybe on Facebook or something, was I had a really bad habit of not taking pictures of progress as I'm doing things, and I always forget to take pictures of things once they're done. So that is something I'm definitely going to have to work on this year, especially if I plan on doing a whole lot more sewing and graphic art commissions as the year progresses. Because me and a couple of my friends have been talking about this. My friend GG Alpha, who was on a couple of my videos way back when, and my friend Cinders, who started my traditional locks in the first place, we kind of sat down and had a bit of a powwow about how we wanted our lives to be in the future. And the three of us kind of had the same idea of what it was that we wanted to do. We saw ourselves working creatively and making all of these things and doing a lot of artistic things and making our living on art. Granted, it was from like different positions and stuff. Gigi Alpha, I think she launched her comic. She got her first comic printed, I think last month or the month before, and that was so exciting. She's a couple of years younger than me, and that is so encouraging that someone is able to like actually do what it is they aspire to do when it comes to making their art something physical, something tangible, and actually making a living off of it. And she is such an encouragement to me. My other friend, she is planning on doing some art classes, like when she takes vacation, and doing art commissions and things like that. Like she's actually taking steps to do all of these things in the future. And it kind of made me think that, you know, I can't just set aside those dreams that I had to do something very similar, where it was like, I've always liked sewing, I've always liked drawing and stuff like that. I've always wanted to write a book. But I've always gotten into my own way when it came to actually realizing these things. And seeing them take the steps to move forward, however small, even if it was just like my friend Cinders is just planning on the classes and saving up for the classes to go next year, or Gigi, she only just printed her first story. Like these are really like big steps, even though they might seem really insignificant to like the people who are making hundreds and thousands of dollars on their art and things like that. So like it just kind of made me think, well, what's holding me back from doing the same thing? Because I do have all this free time when I get home, and I need to be able to muster up the energy and the will to actually make these things happen. Because I have all the books, I have all the resources and stuff like that, but as a big mosquito bite. Oh my gosh. Sorry. So yeah, I have the time, I have the resources, but I've been making excuses up until this point, and I just made it a point to say, you know what? I'm going to actually start taking this serious. I'm going to start taking this serious. I'm going to start taking steps to actually live the life I want to live, because the fact that I'm not getting the results I want is because I'm not putting in the work and not making the steps or making the provisions to actually realize that dream. And that bugs me at the end of the day. So yeah, that's kind of where my head's been the last couple of weeks. And I'm really looking forward to sharing with you guys all of the stuff I want to do through my channel and stuff like that. I probably won't be posting as much for a little while since, like I said, it was busy season. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit long. I think it's about like 10-12 minutes right now or something. But yeah, if you have any thoughts about like the transition between traditional locs or microlocs, or I guess when it comes to any advice any of you have when it comes to like making art your business or making art your way of living and your means of making money, leave them down in the comments below. I will appreciate any advice I can get. And give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure to check out my lock journey playlist where you can see where I started my locks all the way up to where I transitioned to my Microlocs. And yeah, thanks so much for watching and for being patient with me with these long intervals between my updates, and I'll see you guys in the next one.